read it faster the first time. Hunger, the 1992 novel by William R. Dance, who also has a pseudonym for this version called Rodman Philbrick. I also wanted to get this edition because it has, for some reason, 5 sharks instead of 6 on the back, but I guess that's because the 6 ones on the front. The covers aren't anything too great, but they're cool enough. Isn't that the shot from Shark Night? This is the shark novel that may have inspired Deep Blue Sea. We're not quite sure on that one yet. But before we get into it, make sure to check out my book, Chomp, which was written in time, thank God. This is a killer shark book that I wrote, and I'd be honored if anyone would check it out and give me feedback on my second book, my first being Wild Man. The links to purchase it on Amazon on paperback and or Kindle are in the description below. Let's get into the review. The plot. 6 genetically altered mako sharks have escaped a facility by jumping over a fence. Dolphins, man. The sharks are mixed with dolphins so they can jump high. Anyway, now the scientists are trying to form a plan to go out after them. Meanwhile, a nearby refuge for dolphins, I guess, are housing 2 dolphins, and they're slowly unraveling the secrets behind the scientific experiment, as well as the scientists themselves, and trying to figure out what to do next in terms of stopping them. I feel the story starts off incredibly well paced. This is a near 400-page book. It needs to have a good pace. However, during the second act, it starts to go downhill in terms of pacing, and it goes nowhere. I mean, you do learn things along the way, and some people die, but it's like, okay, you could have trimmed about maybe 50 to 100 pages out of this book and wouldn't have changed much. The sharks are always a presence in this book, whether they're just swimming around, thinking, or attacking. Sally and Tom Hart are the duo who house the dolphins. The 2 bottlenose dolphins, that is, were named Clark and Lois. Lois and Clark. Yeah, there's a reference. But there's more to it than just them trying to save the dolphins. Sally can't bear children, so the dolphins kind of act as a stand-in until they have to be released out into the ocean. She does put herself in great danger several times for these animals. It shows her passion, dedication, and riskiness. Taker thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm all for animals trying to be protected, but there's only 2 parts where she jumps in to help the dolphins where they actually needed her help. Maybe 3, and there's like 5 times she does it, so those 2 other times, one time she went out there for no good reason, that's right. And the dolphin was still there in the enclosure the whole time, they didn't even notice. Okay. Although she wasn't really risking her life in that scene, but you know what I mean. She does a lot for the dolphins, who in turn do a lot back. They keep her mind at ease, and they even rescue them near the end. Well, try to. No spoilers. Tom is a writer for a journalism column in the local newspaper. He also keeps having these horrible dreams of drowning and not being able to breathe and his heart stopping. He even goes to the doctor to see if his heart's in bad condition or anything. It's kind of a hint to later in the book, which is really on the nose from the first time you read it. You're like, something's gonna happen to him later where he can't breathe, obviously. That dream of his will become a reality, even if he doesn't want it to. Even the dolphins obviously have personality, which it isn't far-fetched, because whales, mammals usually have a lot of personality. Mostly always. Lois has already warmed up to Sally by the time our story starts. It's Clark who is weary for most of the book. They were tested on by a group of scientists in a laboratory, or laboratory, whatever you want to call it, named Sea Life. Lucy, Higgs, Mendez, and Speak are the main 4. Lucy, while being hit on by her boss, Speak, or Speck, however you want to say it, is pretty much going with the flow. She feels bad for what's going on and sympathy for the animals, but not as bad as Higgs feels. Higgs practically created these altered mako sharks. He feels dreadful over the course of the pages. There's one part where he's so intoxicated that not even splashing water on his face or having him drink coffee will bring him out of it. Mendez is kind of a suck up to Speak or Speck, however you want to say it. We'll call him Speckle. No, I won't. This is while Speak is being driven closer to insanity because the sharks are out. He just gets a crazy look in his eye. Evil eye. Another character is Carlson, or however you want to say it, who is a greedy charter boat captain. He's hired to help with the shark hunt. Not even his friend, Finley. Hey, that's my dog's name. Because he's kind of like Carlson, but a little bit more level-headed. It's Carlson, I'm sorry. Finley also saves a couple of divers from the sharks. Way to go, Finley! Speaking of the sharks, they're dubbed Arusis maximus and are genetically altered. Besides them being smart mako sharks, they also have the genes of a dolphin, like I said. But the fact that they are smart mako sharks is really the only thing that's the same as Deep Blue Sea. Everything else is different. It takes place out in open water. They're mixed with dolphins. There's dolphins in the book. There's more local action. The idea of smart sharks is full of potential, and it hasn't been not utilized. It's been utilized in many films after, and probably in a lot of books too. Not in my book though, Chomp, which is available on Amazon now, on paperback and Kindle. Yeah. Us, the six. That's 5. Us, the 6. The beautiful. The 6 Makos learn of their capabilities as they are out in the open over time. They learn about them along with the reader. It's cool that we get to discover with them. The gore, there's some good stuff here. We get people ripped to shreds, a gruesome severed arm, a harrowing scene involving a diver's last picture. Yeah, take the picture, flash, sharks! A fisherman is dragged out to sea while trying to combat the shark and is eaten promptly, and more. There are a lot of cool setups and payoffs. It's a beautiful book in terms of discovery and descriptions. I do feel the pacing is a bit of an issue during the second act, and some things needed more explaining. Like, how would they prevent the sharks or other creatures from escaping if they did try the experiment again? Why were the sharks created? For the military? For their intelligence? Juice? I don't know. If they said it, I missed it, and I'm sorry. It probably could have and should have been brought up more then. I think it's still a solid read and should be in any avid shark movie, book, whatever, collector's sci-fi action horror collection. Overall, I give Hunger a 3.5 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the Horror Show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon, where even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. You also get access to body counts and other music videos that you can't get on YouTube because of copyright and age restriction. Also hit that notification bell, and as always, subscribe.